Here I'm gonna show you how I start to groom a horse for the first time. So she's been brushed before, but I always want to make sure that she's fine with everything I want to do with her. And I do that without tying her up. Now she ties fine and she'll stand there and that's fine, but I really want to see how she'll react to everything that I want to do to her. And not tying her gives her an option to move around if she feels like she needs to do that. So I just start here with my soft brush, and I'm just going to brush her all over and see how she does with that, and she's fine with that. But some horses are ticklish, some horses don't like being brushed, and I really just want to like desensitize them and kind of feel how she is everywhere on her body, of how she likes this and how that's going to be when I tie her up. I just don't want to get into a wreck when I brushed her on her belly and she doesn't like that and pulls back or something like that. I just want to be thorough and make sure she's going to be fine with everything I want to do with her. I like just to do this for the first few times. I'm only going to do it this first time with her. I just want to make sure she's going to be totally fine. I don't want her running around, do anything crazy. And I haven't really brushed her before this, and that's totally fine. Like, she's a horse, she doesn't need to be brushed every day. Like, it's not a big deal. So, like, this is my 5th or 6th session with her, so I didn't, like, you know, not do anything like brushing wise for a really long time. I just want to make sure I have all that groundwork done before I go ahead and get really close to her. You know, I don't want to put myself in a dangerous position. So I just want to make sure she's cool with everything that I need to do with her. And brushing seems like a simple little thing, but you have to get really close to her. Like, if she wanted to kick me or something, like, this is a perfect opportunity to do so. So I just want to desensitize her and show how she should act when she being groomed. And like, I want her to keep her attention on me. I don't want her staring off. I want her nice and calm and standing still and enjoying being groomed. So I hadn't done a whole lot with her before, but that's all right. Just make sure she's good with her face. If she were to move her face up or her head up, I would just follow her until she lowered it. So I just wanted to make sure she's good with everything that I want to do with her. And after this, she did really well. I'll tie her up and I'll brush her, and she'll be just fine. But just this first few times, if she were to move around, I just keep brushing in that same spot till she stands still. And if she were really horrible about it, I'd keep going with the groundwork. Do a few more days of the lunging and desensitizing and really make sure she's good with all those before I try this again. So I just want to keep a watch of her and her expression the whole time. Like, I want her to like lower her head and relax, but I want to make sure she doesn't get caught in the rope or turn her head the opposite way so she can possibly swing her hindquarters toward me. And I want to just make sure she's good with her back legs being touched, because I want to pick them up and wrap her legs and all that kind of thing. So I just want to make sure she's good with all that, because little things can scare the horse, and I just want to be super thorough. I'm very thorough with all my groundwork, so I just want to stay on the safe side. And she'd been a little finicky about me standing by her hindquarters, so I just want to rub on her and make sure that when I'm back there, it's not a big deal. I just want to rub on her and make her feel good. So this she was a little bit nervous about just the sound it made over her hairbrush. She was a little worried about it before, so we'll see how she does here. But the sound just kind of freaked her out. That's why you don't want to tie her up and you know, hope for the best. So here she's like got her head up. She's like, oh, what is that sound? I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know if she's ever experienced that before. So I just want to be very, very thorough. I just want to keep making that sound until she relaxes. You can see her ears move back and forth. She's listening to there. She lowers her head, so I stop. And she doesn't have a whole lot of mane, but she's got a mane for an Appaloosa, so that's nice. Keep her attention on me. She's looking at something else, so I'll bump gently, then I'll bump harder till she brings her back, and then I'll stop. And I feel like people get in that habit and make that mistake a lot. They'll be brushing, and oh, there, she didn't like that, so I just go with her. Kind of move it in this. I want it to still make noise, so I'm moving my thumb on it so it still makes that noise till she stops, and I'll let her go. Release her. She didn't really like that up on her head. She's like, oh my goodness, that's scary. See, I don't want that to happen while she's tied up. I really want to prepare for that on the ground first. It's the same desensitizing thing. I'm just going to brush her, keep making the same noise in the same place until she relaxes. Just go with her. There, she lowered her head, I'll take it away. Perfect. I'm gonna do the same thing when I go to brush her tail. I don't want her to freak out and get worried about that sound, so I'm just gonna follow her here till she stands still. And then I'll stop when she stops. So, I feel like a lot of people will just tie them up, put them in cross ties, whatever, and then just brush them and not pay attention. They're just thinking about the horse being clean, all that stuff, and doesn't pay attention to what the horse is doing all the time. Like they'll be staring off, they'll be pawing, they'll be doing naughty things, and I really don't want them to do that ever. They need to have their attention on me at all times. I only have them for a couple hours a day, maybe. She can pay attention to me in that time. It's not a whole lot to ask, so here I just kind of moved on. I started making the noise with the brush just near her hind end, and then I kind of pull her tail to the side, and then I moved to brushing it on the side. So I just want to make sure she's going to be totally cool with that noise back there. She didn't really love it on her head, and I don't want to freak her out while I'm standing near her hind legs. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. But I want to brush her mane on this side too. I know it doesn't lay this way, but I just want her to be desensitized to the sound of the comb on this side of her body too. And I'll probably just do this once, but I just wanted to prepare her for everything that could possibly happen to her and try to give her the best foundation to deal with those things. Because I'm not going to keep this horse. Like, she's going to be like a nice kid's horse or a little show pony, and I really want her to be good at that job. So I keep making the noise. I'm not hitting her in the face. I'm just moving my hand to make the brush make noise. So just go with her. There, she lowers her head and stops. I'll take it away. Bring it back up. Get away. Wait till she lowers her head here. Go with her. And take it away. See how she reacted differently on the opposite side of her body? So even though I might never brush her mane on that side, someone might in the future, and I just want to make sure that she's going to be okay with that. And that's another reason why I don't like to go and tie her up real fast, and then she throws her head up like that, feels that pressure and freaks out and pulls back. I really want to be prepared for all that first. So just sensitize her here on her face. Wait for her to lower her head and relax. Touched her ear there, and she was like, oh, I don't know about that. She's not like head shy or anything. She doesn't mind her ears being touched with. I just don't think she likes the sound or maybe the feel of the brush. I'm not sure. Doesn't really matter. I just want her to get used to it. There we go. If they're flinging their head around, you just want to keep your hand as close to their head as possible, and just keep the brush on there, or keep it, if it makes noise, keep it making noise until she relaxes and puts that head down. You don't want to take it away, or you're going to encourage that behavior. There, she's thinking about it. Very good. It seems stupid that you train your horse to be groomed, but they really don't know what's expected of them until you let them know. So I really want to make sure she's good with everything, and that she's expected to stand still, she's expected to be calm, she's expected to pay attention at all times. Making that noise. I have my thumb running through the brush until she relaxes here. She blinked and lowered her head, so I'll take it away. There, so she ended so much better than she started with that brush. Let's do it again. It kind of touched her ear, so I'll just let it touch her ear a little bit. There, she lowered her head. I'm just gonna make that noise on her neck here. Just get closer to her hindquarters. I want to just, like, I stretch out my arm and kind of make that noise near her hindquarters before I actually go back there and stand there. Just want to be safe. Because she did react to it on her head, so I just don't want her to react that way when I'm near her hindquarters. So she seems pretty calm about it. Flinch a little bit. Just brush her tip of her tail, kind of pull it around a little. I'm just gonna keep paying attention to her face, see if she's getting worried, if her neck's tense, if her eyes are looking around, but she seems really calm. Her neck's nice and low. She seems very relaxed. She's just got one ear listening to me, but she doesn't seem worried at all. I'm not really worried about brushing through her tail. I just want to make the noise and have the sensation going on. See how there she goes. And blinked her eyes, relaxed her face. Perfect place to end.